everybody, it's the Mad Master here. I am not commemorating St. Patrick's Day today, but happy St. Patrick's Day anyways. But this video is actually commemorating a 1-year anniversary of something that happened to me that was joyously, that's kind of funny considering the circumstances. Never mind, it's a private joke. That, was actually really necessary in my life because today was my last day at the call center. I'm going to provide some pictures. The only pictures I think I have left, other than some really old pictures of the call center. And it was a long time coming because I'd been in various call centers for a long time. And the thing is with this call center is that we had been switched to remote, but they changed the job around and had us do, because I had a long tenure with this company. It was like 10 years. And they had changed everything to be like half the people from where I live, my hometown, left the company, or more than half actually. Like the majority of the people that live here that worked for the company left, and the people that were left that were remote, and they replaced people, these Madison, or yeah, you already know where I live, these people with people from Tennessee and like where was it, North Carolina or somewhere like that. These various places that have a very different corporate culture that for this company that I worked for. And little things like, one of the things that was really bothering me is like worked at home. So we used to have, so you're supposed to be, I worked 10-hour days, and I had like a lunch, like at 1 or 2, but I would work 8 to like, my first break would be like 11 or something. It was like a 10-minute break or something like that. I think I had like 3 breaks, 3 10-minute breaks. So to put it blunt, if you had to take a shit or, take a piss, it was hard to only do it during your breaks, because you only had, when we were at the actual call center, we had like an hour personal time a month, which I got perilously close to, but they never really, close to using up. They said, oh, well, maybe cut it down a little bit, and it was fine, But when we started getting these new managers, they gave us 20 minutes a month. So let's say you have your break. Let's say your first break is at noon. You start at 8, and you have to take a piss. Oh, too bad, so sad. If you normally have to take a piss at 9 o'clock, you can't get off the phone, and do that. And they measured all these things and all these stupid things, like how happy you were to the customer and all this shit. And they changed the job to retention instead of what we called help desk, which was helping frontline reps, because we were kind of a middle management. But they just destroyed that position. And those calls were really, we did other projects too when I was in help desk. That was the ideal for me, was that job, but they destroyed it. And half the people left. They didn't want to do retention or customer service, and it was shit. But my new job, if I have to, just to be blunt, if I have to take a huge shit, I can go, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Or, if I have to like take a little time walk, like today, my boss let everybody out early, and we're still going to get paid for it. Like, what the hell is that? They would never do that at my previous job, and the job is not being, I was told like to stick phones up my ass because I was working for a phone company before. It's like, I'm going to come here in the office and stick a phone up your ass. I'll throw these phones at you. Shit like that. You get abuse by customers all day. And now it's just like, I worked there so long, and I had memories at the call center. That's why the last week or so, of March 2022, or not, that I worked there, that I worked at this company, I decided to go back to the call center. Nobody was there. It was like one or two people, and one of the people that was on my team. And things are so different now. I'm so much happier. It's just like the stress, you're not on this clock that's so strict all the time. Like today, oh yeah, I will type in, I went to lunch at 12:50, but I go to lunch at 12:50 every day. But I put in 12, or not 12:50, or 11:50, and I put in 12 to 1. Oh, who cares? Oh yeah, you're there. Yeah, you did this, and blah, blah, blah. Don't get yelled at. There are people that yell at me a little bit, but it's usually through email. It's like some snarky comment. I'm not going to say necessarily what I do in this video, but maybe one day I'll share my new profession. It's completely different than my previous one, and it doesn't feel so slimy and sleazy too. So I feel like cell phones, like I've talked about before, the cobalt and all the crap, the child labor. I'm actually writing a short story based on my experiences at the call center, the cell phone stuff, and it's going to be released eventually. I actually have 3 short stories I want to do. I don't know about novellas, but I'm going to write these short stories, and they're about, various things. One's more science fiction. The cell phone one's more horror. It's sort of horror suspense, not really horror, but thriller, whatever. What's the third story about? More of a satire. That's definitely horror. The third one. So I have these 3 short stories I want to write, and the concepts. One of the concepts goes way back, not way back, but like 2017 or something like that. And I swore I wrote some of it before, but I cannot find it for the life of me. I'm gonna look on some of my old hard drives. I have a shit ton of portable hard drives full of just different stuff. A lot of cough manosphere stuff that I've gotten over the years, just various things that I have on there, music, whatever. I have all sorts of stuff. I have short stories on one of them and shit like that, portable hard drive. And I probably I don't have a lot of USB sticks, which I should probably do too, because at least that's SSD, unlike these portable hard drives were. But I have a lot of stuff. So yeah, the call center, it was bittersweet leaving there because I hadn't been there in 2 years. So I went back for one more week and it was exactly the same. There was stuff from early 2020 up, advertisements and stuff. Oh my God, this is like a time capsule. And just going to the, and they had the COVID stuff up too. And, it was kind of weird. It was kind of surreal. But, and it was sad. It was bittersweet, sad, anticlimactic in a way, just considering all the shit that I went through with the last 2 years of that job. Now, 2020 was better because 2020, I was doing the previous job that I was doing before I got to the help desk, which is because they threw us in this queue for financial services where we were taking calls from customers that were late on their bill. But it was hundreds of calls a day, But still people from my town, the managers, and they were still nice and stuff and would bend the rules for things, personal time and stuff like that. And we're nicer people, but once they replaced everything early 2021 with this bullshit that we had to do all 5 different duties. And I did credit calls too, which was my favorite because it was easiest, because people would run credit for a prospective cell phone purchaser at a store. They would call, with a credit check and stuff. I'd been doing that for years. I think they kept me on because of my credit, because everybody left and there was hardly any credit people left. So I had to help other people. They didn't know what they were doing. It was a lot of incompetence at the end. A lot of chats that went unanswered with people. And the way that you looked for information on there was totally convoluted and fucked up, and nobody would get an answer. And you couldn't call back. You could try to call back customers, but you wouldn't get to them for days or ever sometimes for questions and stuff. It's a complete clusterfuck at the end. They just completely shot themselves in the foot, this company. I'm going to say the company's name. I don't care. It's US Cellular. You can say what you want. It was terrible at the end. I don't give a shit. I almost got fired probably because that's not the company I work for now, by the way. I almost got fired because I said fuck on a call. Because the first time when I took a retention call, I was like, oh fuck, and I didn't put mute on it. And they're like giving me the scolding and stuff. But they kept me because of credit. I know they did. But there's 3 people left who were on my help desk team out of 23, or 4 people actually. And 2 of them are doing this department called fraud, which is almost like a throwback because it's more like Madison original people that were there. It was, and I'm sure the job, the people, the way that people are, the managers and stuff in that are more like that, like the old school days of the job, which had they had a thing called the dynamic organization. And it was like, treat people, kindness, blah, blah, blah. And they just threw that away the last 3 years. They just, stuck it on some toilet paper and shit on it, That's what they did. And it's totally terrible and crazy. And I'm glad that I'm out of that place. I mean, every day, like today, it was like a thankful day. I came home, I was driving home, and they play Rock Brigade by Def Leppard on the local rock station, which you never hear, but my band's playing that song. So the cover band I'm in, not my other project, but the cover band I'm in. So it's kind of funny to hear that, but yeah, it's just like, it was crazy. And I would throw stuff. I wrecked a record player, because I threw a lot of stuff across the room with the way the job was the last 2 years of it, and the old job. And I just, it just was like, it was crazy. And I can't believe that I stayed there for those 2 years, because I almost just quit. Though, like I said, 2020 was a little bit better. 2021, these people that didn't know what they were doing from these southern states that were involved with the management was like, what the hell are you doing? You're incompetent. You're like, there was a couple of people that had some, they were okay. Like this, these 2 people I'll name, give their first, no, I'm not going to give their names. Fuck that. They started with a J and a C. I'll just say that. But there's a person that started with a V, and a person that started, what was his first name? Oh, the president's, slang name, that guy. Total dick. Total fucking asshole. I'm gonna kick his ass, man. I don't care. I'm just gonna say this stuff, I'm just so pissed about everything that happened. I could get sued for my story, but I'm not gonna say the name of the company in the story. So I don't know why I'm saying this stuff in this video. I don't give a shit. Nobody watches from there anyway, so whatever. But the company I work for now, great. I actually give a shit about you. I don't like their health insurance, but that's the only thing I don't like. I could tally a list of stuff I didn't like about the last job, the last company. Now, before 2020, and especially before 2021, I could tally a list of things I liked because they gave a shit. And I was doing collections, and I was doing the collections help desk and credit help desk, which you would answer frontline reps questions and take more advanced kind of things. But there were like 4 or 5 calls an hour for a while. So I was getting all these books read in 2018, 2019 when I was doing that. Once March 2020 hit, middle March 2020 is like call after call, and then all these whisper tones, which I've done videos on, event 8, collections, collect. You had to hear that all day. Like when you got a call, it would say the name of the call, like type of call before. Then it would cut off in the middle of the word and collect. I just wanted to smash the portable screen or whatever the computer they gave. Now I have like a double monitor, which, it's not my, I had to get rid of the all-in-one computer when I took it back to the place. But yeah, it just sucked. It was horrible. And I don't know. I feel like my short story is kind of revenge for what happened when you read it. It's like, and maybe I'm crazy for even mentioning the name of the company in this video. I don't, whatever. What are they going to do? They have a work. The verification for the job is automated. It's pretty much automated, so it doesn't really matter. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't do this video. Whatever. I don't fucking know. But anyways, that's about all.